Ever looked in the mirror and thought, I'd make a damn fine drag king? Welcome to Kings of Joy, the Drag King podcast where gender isn't something to fear, it's something to play with. I'm Danica Cormack, the King Coach, mentor to over 150 first-time drag kings, and I'm taking you backstage into the unruly, magical world of drag king transformation. If you're craving confidence, community, and a crew that gets it, you just found your crown. Connect with us on Instagram at Kings of Joy for behind-the-scenes content and updates. We'd love to hear from you. At Kings of Joy, we acknowledge and pay our respects to the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of the land on which we live, work and play.
I wanted to meet some new people and I wanted to explore different aspects of my performance, and also I think, around that time too, as a cis female, I was going through menopause and all that, and I was like, okay, it's time to fuck shit up here. I felt like I was kind of getting a bit linear in my journey and things, and it was like, yeah, I've got all these other aspects to my character and personality that I still want to explore more, and one of them was being a naughty teenage boy.
In this episode, I had the privilege of speaking with Danielle Cormack, aka PonyBoi. Danielle is a multi-award-winning actor, director and producer whose career spans over 35 years in film, television and theatre across Australia and New Zealand. She is best known for playing the iconic role of Bea Smith in critically acclaimed drama Wentworth, as well as the leading role of Kate Leigh in the highly successful TV series Underbelly, Razor, for which she won awards and nominations for both roles. Danielle is a mother to 2 sons and is a long-running ambassador for Shine for Kids Australia and Child Fund Australia and New Zealand, which has seen her travel to work in communities to support children and refugees living in extreme poverty and crisis zones. Welcome, Danielle, aka PonyBoi. I'm here. Thanks so much for being here.
It's so great to be here. And can I just say, I'm marveling at your get up here. It's amazing.
I feel like we've stepped into our palace.
Yes, I feel like that too.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So
Makes you nice.
Sit up a bit and
on
your crown.
Yeah.
So,
and on that note as well, congratulations for 150 Kings.
That has been a milestone, 5 years in the making, coaching and mentoring 150 first time.
Amazing.
Kings. Like, I feel proud. I don't feel like there's anyone else in the world who could say that necessarily that I've met, but it's a big accomplishment.
Well, I'd like to say that I am one of those 150.
Yes, you are. You've got a number. I don't know what number it is, but you are definitely a number of Kings of Joy, which has been fabulous. So tell me, let's start with your origin story. Like, why did you want to become a drag king?
Well, I think it all began when, it sort of goes right back, I think, to, it's hard to talk about it without speaking about my history in performance and being an actor primarily. But we can talk about that maybe later. I'll start with, I think I was stanning you on social media. I was like, holy, who is that person? They're amazing. Who is she? Who is he? Dario. And then I think for me, the idea of being a king or stepping into the drag king performance world, it was on par with my own performance aspirations anyway. And so I reached out to you, and I think there was a Kings of Joy course being run, and I just straight in there, off the diving board, triple flip in there.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You brought a friend along with you too, didn't you? A buddy.
I did bring a friend of mine along because we were doing a play at the time at Belvoir, and Maud Davies, who is a king herself in Melbourne, but I think she'd just done a little bit of performance on the side, and then she wanted to come along with me So we were able to come along and be kings with the Kings of Joy.
Together.
Yeah, it was great. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And it was completely distracting for us because we were doing this play together. It was a lesbian divorce comedy that was on at Belvoir. So we were just, whilst we were supposed to be running lines and everything, we were practicing our routines behind the stage, which was most fun. So that's how I crashed into the Kings of Joy world. But I think, primarily for me, it came very easily for me, the not just the want and actually finding the community, but I just think when I was younger, for me, I was always performing, and I felt like as a young person, I had so many annexes to my personality that came very easily to me, and also even with finding Ponyboy, it was very easy for me because I think I identify more as like a naughty teenage boy than I do anything else. And I'm okay to say that now. I've matured very late in life. I'm still maturing. I'll mature until I, meet my greater good. But I think there was part of that too, that just discovering that side of me that I related to so much when I was growing up. And it was a chance to take that aspect of myself and put that character into a performance space and in a safe performance space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is one of the intentions of Kings of Joy, starting out as first-time drag kings, regardless of other performance background or not. Some people have no performance background or, have never danced or have never picked up a makeup brush in their entire lives, and being in a crew together where everybody is a first-time drag king.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a special experience.
And you know what? For me, it's interesting because having worked in the performance space for many, many years, the most exciting time for me is when I'm working with people that haven't ever performed before, because I learn so much, and it's such a joy to see people, take that step. It's not a natural thing for a lot of humans to perform in front of other people. It certainly raises the cortisol levels.
Yeah,
but when you witness the joy of people once they're in their flow and up there, and then afterwards, it's those moments afterwards when they're just filled with just all of those chemicals, the cortisol, and then what is it, what's the dopamine and all of that, and it's just peaking, and and to me those are the really pure moments, and I love that, rather than and of course I love working with seasoned professionals. There's nothing like it, but there is a particular fancy in working with people that haven't ever, and that and I got that especially with that first performance I ever did with the Kings of Joy.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm sure that we'll cover this too, but it is about community and coming together. For me at that time too, I know I'm going off my origin story, but I really felt like I wanted to I guess plug into different communities. I'd gone through a very isolative. Is that a word?
I think it is now. Yeah.
An isolative.
I love
that in the Urban Dictionary. An isolative. No, I'm going to be stuck on that. It's early.
Yeah.
Isolated. Thank you. Time. And I wanted to meet some new people, and I wanted to explore different aspects of my performance, and also I think around that time too, as a cis female, I was going through menopause and all that, and I was like, okay, it's time to fuck shit up here. I felt like I was kind of getting a bit linear in my journey and things, and it was like, I've got all these other aspects to my character and personality that I still want to explore more, and one of them was being a naughty teenage boy. And welcome Ponyboy.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I love what you're saying about community and tapping into community, because for me, moving from a city like Melbourne to a city like Sydney in Australia, I didn't know anyone. I knew 3 people, and I also started out in Sydney very isolated, and found it hard to break into a social setting and find my place in Sydney. And it was actually Chris who said to me, "You've got to create the community that you want. It's time." And I thought, I used to do that in my 20s and I'd forgotten that, if I want the community, I got to create it, the kind of community that I want to create. So an uplifting community that's around joy, that supports each other. And so that's why we started Kings of Joy. So I'm glad that helped fulfill that for you as well, because it's certainly helped fulfill that for me, having a community that I've now created and can tap into at any time to go on social events or, help move house.
Yes.
Bring soup when someone's sick,
Yeah. I know my phone pings quite a lot with the Kings of Joy chat group. Chat group?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's lovely you say that, because I do know one thing, and I'm not just pissing in your pocket, as the expression is. I only found out that when I moved to Australia. There's this expression. People go, "I'm not just pissing in your pocket." I was like, I bloody well hope not.
Yeah, no, it's rude.
That was the one thing as well that I found really attractive, is that there was a great warmth. You're incredibly open and welcoming, and to the community and to the space, and that was one thing I really loved as well, because I feel like, especially when there's been people have had a history with doing something for a very long time, and I think this can happen in all different sectors and all different communities. There can become a strange kind of hierarchy sometimes. And to be welcomed into a space where there isn't any of that, where you're sharing the knowledge and your understanding of what it's like to get up on stage the first time, and also share knowledge without being condescending or patronizing. That was one thing that I really enjoyed, and then kept coming back. So
yeah. I think people go on a bit of a gender journey too, exploring gender in a safe space, and that led you to Ponyboy, and your inner teenage boy. Can you tell us a little bit about Ponyboy?
Yeah, well, Ponyboy, and as you know, and as you guided us through that journey to begin with. It was like, you don't have to land on something immediately. It's like, slowly through the rehearsal space, and then me just going away and thinking about, costume and look and things, because I'm very detailed when it comes to character for me. But it wasn't just a character that I was playing that someone had written for me. So that was a very different thing. It was like, okay, I have to sit with myself and think about that part of me, my masculinity. What is masculinity to me? What is, and in that case, putting up against my, femininity. And then, so I think just thinking about those things, and then allowing all of the binary language around it to slip away. And then, of course, I found that it was easier for me to think about my own industry. So Ponyboy was a wannabe actor who was desperate to make it in Hollywood, but had, conversely had way more confidence than what I ever had.
Yeah.
Was just so gunning for it, was intent on being a stunt double, then was thinking there's only way to becoming a lead actor was if he went through the stunt doubling channel. And he was like the cunning stunt man. And so full of just cum and drive and ambition. And then I think it was one of our first performances that we did at the Red Rattler.
Yeah.
And I had to speak, but I realized I didn't have a voice for Ponyboy. And suddenly this voice just came from I don't know where. And he had clearly not, his balls hadn't dropped yet. And suddenly he's like, "Oh, I'm just this little boy who's, well, not little boy, but, teenage boy who's full of all this, but." So I feel bad, because Ponyboy actually right now is he's lying in bed. He's asleep in bed, full of soiled socks and probably wrapped in posters of Pamela Anderson. But and then he was just born there on the spot. So there was a lot of consideration, but then also not. He just kind of was born on the spot.
Inspired.
Yeah. So, and I think, the one thing that I think I, in parts learnt from you and the other kings that I was, having playtime with, and also myself, was that it's an ongoing, evolving journey and character. I didn't have to completely land on something straight away and clarify him immediately.
Yes.
And through my different performances now and shows, I've discovered more and more and more about him.
That is so
naughty. and I love that because it also allows me to, I guess, as I'm 50, nearly 55. I'm I present this certain way, and I guess there's a societal judgment that I have to behave and be a certain way at this age, and I'm not. So I get to live this out.
Yes,
through Ponyboy.
Ponyboy.
I found a really great, portal in and then just valve out.
Yeah. It's wonderful. It's so wonderful seeing Ponyboy and, having it be, like you said, a persona from within, which is how I coach kings to create a persona that's you. It's not a character that you're putting on or someone else is putting on you. It's from within, and it's a larger than life version of you where you get to explore your own masculinity, however that expresses itself.
It's interesting too, because when I was growing up as a teenager in Auckland, Aotearoa, New Zealand, I was absolutely obsessed with going to the movies, and the only movies that I really, really connected to were the ones that featured a lot of teenage boys. It was their journey. I never, like The Outsiders, and those films, that and even the books, the literature, and in parts I think Pony was born from those iconic characters. Well, they were iconic to me at that time. And, I look back and I go, yes, there's so much of that. And of course, Ponyboy says stay gold.
Oh, I love that T-shirt. And that T-shirt is available, I believe. People can
it is. I actually didn't wear this to plug this. I feel a little bit, I feel like I've let the team down. You've turned up in all your beautiful sparkles.
I thought go sparkly this morning, but
I've just come straight from the gym because I wanted to get some Ponyboy guns out. But
that's it. You got to do what you got to do. Ponyboy has to do what he got to do.
Got to stay on
That's
track.
it. Yeah.
But
tell us Ponyboy's journey since Kings of Joy. You did your debut group performance, and then Ponyboy has taken off and had a life of his own. What's his journey been?
Well, Ponyboy's getting closer to his dream of becoming a Hollywood star. I've managed to Pony's jumped on a few international flights. And headed over, has performed at some conventions over in the States.
Fab.
Performed here in Gadigal land in Vanguard.
Yeah.
And listen, my voice gets really high.
Here he comes.
Look, I love every single moment of being on stage. I did have a while there where I had a bit of a personal kind of burnout, not a dramatic one. It was I just needed to retreat a little bit from doing things and just kind of find my own center again. But I think that Pony's been peeping out of the smelly bedroom going, time to come out again. So I've been doing a few performances. I'd like to get back into it again. Well, Pony.
Yeah.
How do we speak of it? This is a question for you.
Yeah.
When we're speaking about our drag persona, our king, and then we're ourself.
Yes.
How does that work?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I speak of Danica, and I speak of myself as I. And then when I talk about Dario DeBello, it's like, well, Dario's got a new crush.
Yeah, right.
Or Dario is really confused between is it his head or his heart? Like what what's going on there for Dario. You know, he's
I love that,
sorry
because
for
if
himself.
it was Pony, it would be like, is it the heart or the
Yeah,
nether
exactly.
regions? It would be the head. This
I
brain is
know.
not functioning.
And can I tell you a funny story? I was rehearsing for a new routine that I've got called Head and Heart, and it is about the confusion. That moment of confusion, is it my head or my heart? And I'm driving along in the car with my daughter in the car, who's 9, and the song came on. So I was practicing the lip syncing and just casually doing the "Is it my head?" And of course, Ponyboy points down below to the crown jewels or my heart. And so there I am in the car going head or heart. And my daughter looks at me and she goes, "Oh, Danica, you've been pointing to your head and then your leg. Like it's your head and your heart." She fully corrected me. And I was like, "Oh, thanks, babe."
I love that. I love that. It's so good.
Yes.
Look, I was just thinking, just you talking about your daughter, when my one of my first, I was doing a performance at the Vanguard,
Yes.
and I got all dressed up beforehand, but my son came home from school with his mate, and his mate's dad was picking him up, and I was running out of my apartment and out into the street as Ponyboy, and I'd never met this guy's dad before, my friends, and so I had this moment of of his dad saying, "Yeah, hi," and my son go, "Yeah, this is my mum."
I think.
I stayed in character, of course.
Oh, blimey.
Pony was there.
Yeah, Pony was there.
And
And
g'day, it's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you.
gee,
Yeah,
that is so
it's nice to meet you.
a bit of
Got to
manspreading.
gap it, got a gig.
Yeah.
Got a gig.
Got to get there.
Yeah.
So good. Ponyboy's got a distinctive look, doesn't he? Like, how would you describe his look?
So Ponyboy has the beautiful blue glitter beard. That's a trademark for Pony.
Yeah.
Likes a good brow.
Yes.
Good strong brow.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to have a good strong brow.
Yeah.
Has to wear a cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, always
cap.
a backwards
Backwards.
cap. Yeah. Because Pony's got very short hair.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
So he's got to
short.
hide his hair. Yeah, he's got
short.
Yeah.
Yeah. But likes a lot of eye makeup too.
Yes.
Yeah,
like
good,
the strong eye.
Got a good strong eye. Yeah. Very fond of a very nice bright green eyeshadow at times. Yeah.
Lovely.
Depends how much time he's got.
Yeah, I know. It does take
that
time,
too.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But has managed to reduce the kit to a good manageable size for travel.
Travel kit.
Yes.
Do you include binding in that? Do you bind and pack?
No, I don't. Pony likes to get his chest out.
Yeah.
And tapes over the nips.
Yeah. Great.
Loves a see-through tank top.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the old netting
Yes.
top.
Mesh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Netting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Great. I love that. I love that look for Pony. I think he's got a very strong look with the trademark blue glitter beard as well. Yeah.
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 And once again, it was, it's those moments I know when I was shopping for Pony, because he was in his bedroom.
Yeah.
Watching questionable television. Going to is it Crayola?
Crayola.
Krylon.
Now that you've said it,
I'm never going to get sponsorship from them now, am I?
Krylon.
Krylon, thank you. And then having a magical time with one of the shop assistants there.
Yeah.
Going through all the colours and what was available and everything. And that's a whole other journey. I really enjoyed that. That was
fun.
The
makeup side, because it is stage makeup, right? It's not everyday makeup that we're doing as drag kings. It's really is a stage makeup with and
a lot of I'm fairly I won't say maybe Pony's performances are fairly rambunctious and very energetic, so a lot of perspiration.
Yes,
so I need to make sure that things stay on.
Makeup is set and it doesn't melt off.
Yeah.
What are some of the songs that you've done as Pony?
I'm just thinking about my the Pony's last set was Tainted Love, Super Freak.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, bit of Rick James.
Yeah.
The one that I did at the Vanguard was Violent Femmes.
Yes. Add It Up.
Added Up.
Yeah.
Yes, you did some choreography for
choreography. Yeah.
For Pony for that one.
Yeah.
And that one for me, I think, I really loved that we did that one. I'm having a real struggle here doing I've never been interviewed about Pony before.
It's interesting.
So it's interesting for me to navigate the me, him, us, we.
So good. And it's interesting because, you have such an incredible professional career as an actor. And how does it compare, like doing, your professional career and doing Ponyboy and drag?
Oh, I just love it because I've actually been performing at, I was in a TV show called Wentworth, where the remake the reimagining of Prisoner.
Yes.
And it's got a huge fan base in the States, and they do a lot of conventions. And so Pony has performed at a few of those conventions, has had lots of photo ops, loves the photo ops, loves the camera.
Yeah.
So that's been a lot of fun. Hosted some sexy bingo.
Oh,
yeah. Played some games. I judged some costume competitions. So it's been really fun. He's had a lot of fun getting out there and not just performing as such, but also kind of hosting, which has really helped find where he sits on certain issues. Where his moral compass lies and where his humor sits and how he feels about the outside world. Actually engaging with other human beings as opposed to only performing to them, which has been really interesting. But yeah, I just see it as a compliment to what I do. It's performance. It's a chance for me to exercise the many beasts within. And once again, for me, it's always about coming together with communities and jamming and just in cooperation with each other. And I just love, what's the word? This is the menopause.
Yeah.
When collaboration. The collaboration.
Yeah. And the synergy, isn't it?
Yeah. And just feeding off each other and enjoying each other's silliness and play. To me, that's what performance is. It's playtime. And I just like watching. When I watch my kids when they were really young go to the playground, and the kids walk around. They don't think about how they look. They don't think about. They just fall over and pick themselves up. They go up to meet people they've never seen before and
make friends instantly.
Yeah, and I want to keep employing that sense of play every day for the rest of my life.
What about aspiring drag kings? Like, what would you say to an aspiring drag king? Someone who was like, I've wanted to be a drag king forever. And
it's very simple. Do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Here's a number. Here's the address. You can turn up to Kings of Joy or wherever you are in the world. Tap into the community and see how it rolls out.
Yep.
No time like now.
Yes.
All of those platitudes and the many posters and placards and the words of wisdom we see from people who have gone before us, all of those wonderful people that have said to us many times, don't sweat the small stuff, just do it. Don't worry about this. And I go, now, I'm one of those people. Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah. It's so good.
If you don't.
Yeah. And for people who like, great, I love that. I feel encouraged by that. Where do I start? That's often the first step, some people come with, do I start with a name? Do I start with, a look? And people have different pathways into creating their drag king persona. One of the things that I've put together is a free resource for people, which is a guide for creating and claiming your drag king name.
Yeah.
And so, it goes through all the steps about, do you want it to be funny or punny? Here are some examples, and I've used examples from the Kings of Joy community to help guide, if you're an aspiring drag king, to guide you through how to come up with a name. And it's got another bonus in it too of exploring your archetype. What kind of archetype are you? As Dario DeBello, I'm the archetype of the lover.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And so there's 8 different archetypes that I've got listed that people can use. So if you're an aspiring drag king, that's a really good place to start with that.
Yeah, I remember
resource.
that now. I remember that because I don't remember much.
Yeah.
But I do remember that was part of, you know, the package that when we it's so funny. I'm here now because I'm a little bit PonyBoi. I say the word package and I start thinking of packages. Sorry.
How can you
stay
not?
on track?
How can you not?
How can you not? But
yes.
But the other thing too is, you know, just the very first thing you said then was just take the step because, you know, you don't have to know all this stuff and it's great. You've got the resources. If you turn up, you know, say to Kings of Joy or, you know, anywhere else in the world, if there's other people listening in the world, is that you don't need to know everything before you arrive.
Yeah.
And I think once again, in collaboration with the space and what's going on in the space, you can find out things along the way, you know, and that was the one thing for me. I was like, oh no, am I allowed to be part of this community? Am I not? You know, and then I'm just so glad that I did turn up, you know, and of course, I'd already signed up and Maud was like, oh, I want to come too. I was like, of course, but I would have felt completely comfortable coming alone.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
That's
and
great.
I've made some wonderful friends along the way.
Absolutely. And my last question is, what would a thriving drag king scene look like in your, you know, your vision?
Oh, well, this is interesting. I actually just saw a call out for drag queens for a feature film. So I put my name forward as a drag king. I said, hey, surely there's a role for a drag king in there. Here's my Instagram handle, PonyBoi.
Right.
And they said, oh, sorry, no kings at the moment. I'm like, but if it's a queen scene, surely there's a king in there. You can't have a queen without a king. But, you know, for me, there seems to be a very thriving drag queen scene, and you know, there's drag queen bingo, and you know, you can go to places where there's lots of performance, and you know, for clubs to embrace kings as well as much. I would love to create a drag king film. I would love for there to be a drag king drag race with only drag kings. Yep. Was there one?
There has been. Murray Hill's just hosted
cool.
King of Drag, which has been amazing to see that kind of development in the for our community. Yep. But yeah, there's room for more, I'm sure.
For sure. And I mean, you're doing it now.
Yeah.
It's having the conversation and for people to be, you know, whether or not they want to be a king or not, just to be a little bit more savvy as to what it's about. And, you know, just making it, it's not about making something mainstream, but allowing it to be accessible.
Yes.
I think.
Right.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, the Drag King musical, of every musical that's ever been made, but only done by drag kings. Cats.
Drag King Cats. I love that.
Things like that, yes.
I love these ideas. Thank you for sharing. Well, thank you so much for being on the Kings of Joy show.
Thank you, my king.
Oh,
my king daddy.
Yes, thank you for being a king of joy and bringing that joy to people all around the world. Yeah, really appreciate you, Danielle. Thanks for being here today.
Welcome to the kingdom, pull up a chair. Real kings, real stories, we go there. From debut to crew, the journey we're making, this is Kings of Joy. Here's the crown you're claiming. Welcome to the kingdom. Real kings, we go there. The journey to the kingdom. This is Kings of Joy, here's the crown, Welcome to the kingdom. Real kings, from debut to crew, the journey we're making, this is Kings of Joy. Here's the crown you're claiming.